It's 15 questions about 3 very random things, including Disney, Die Hard, and genetics, with my pal and diehard Disney fan, genetic curation scientist, Patrick Aghajanian. This is Trivia with Buds. And welcome to episode 96 of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Budds. Thank you so much for putting this show in your ears today. We are getting very close to episode 100. If you like pop culture, if you like trivia, if you like playing along and answering questions on a road trip, on your commute, on a dog walk, you are in the right place with this show. We put it out every Tuesday and Thursday. We put out full-length episodes on Tuesdays. And do we have a doozy for you today? This is a great interview, and I learned a lot from talking to Patrick, my friend who is a genetic curation scientist. Get ready for it. Episode 100 coming in just a few weeks. Some very exciting stuff around the corner. Welcome, brand new Patreon subscriber Sarah McKevitz from Chicago. Thank you so much for your patronage, and watch your mail for some very awesome stuff coming your way. Guys, I have still not seen Avengers Infinity War or Deadpool. Deadpool's been out for 5 days already. I hear both are great. And I am a big fanboy, but I'm a bad fanboy. I haven't found the time. And I wanted to see both of those with my wife, but she has given me the okay to see them solo. So I think I will. And then maybe I'll see Solo. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Speaking of my wife, special shout out and thanks to Ashley Starling Buds for stepping up and hosting trivia for the first time ever this week. I was quadruple booked, and I was plumb on a trivia host, and out of nowhere she goes, "I'll do it," for the one I needed filled. So I don't think I've ever seen her touch a microphone. And she's very well-spoken, though. One of the first things I was attracted to her in an English class about 13 years ago in college was how well-spoken she was and how much better she was at explaining stuff than the rest of the class. And that was what navigated me towards her. And it continues to do that every day. She's just a great communicator, and I think she did a fantastic job hosting, got a lot of compliments, and she really liked it. So hopefully she'll be hosting again very soon. Thanks again, Ash. As always, you're the best. I got an email from a listener named Mike DeGeorge that I thought I should answer on the podcast, so I'll read that right now. Mike writes, "I'm curious. I know you're a TV producer. I also know that TV is a sporadic beast, and it's very tough to make a sustained living through it. My question is the trivia in podcasting an avocation, or is it necessary second job? Is it a necessary second job because of the fickleness of TV? You do a lot of trivia, so you either hustle because you can make money at it, and how to say this, you can control your revenue more easily than you can with TV. In fact, one can say that your TV work supplements your trivia and hosting work, and the TV work is a second job. I was just curious. Let me know if you can." Thanks for your email, Mike, and thanks for listening and checking out the show. I worked in TV for about 3.5 years after moving out here in 2012. And I worked in a bunch of random jobs, like production assistant type jobs at first. And I found myself as a segment producer on all these different clip shows for MTV and Nickelodeon and things like that up until just recently, about 6 months ago. And then we went on hiatus from the show I was working on. And that kind of happens sometimes where you're like, oh, right, we're off for 2 months or we're off for a month, and you kind of figure out what you're going to do in the short term. But we wrapped on this show in October. I had a son born in November, and then we had the holidays. And over that time, I was like, I really want to spend more time at home because at that point, I was really only seeing my family on the weekends because I just had full-time job every day and then trivia at night and then back home and that kind of stuff. And they'd be asleep by the time I got home. So I decided to try and build up the trivia business the best I could, and I did. And 6 months later, we are cruising. A lot of shows. I have 12 weekly locations if you want to play live trivia with me in Southern California at this point. And I'm doing a lot of private events, I'd say like almost every other day with like a different company or a happy hour at an office or an old folks home or different things like that. So I love doing it all. It's my favorite way to earn income. And this is my full-time gig as of now. I'm not like a millionaire or anything, but I definitely love what I do, and it's fun, and it's a huge part of it is not spending so much time away from my house. I wake up and I get to see the kids and my wife and go on about my day. And sometimes they're part of the business. Like I can bring my daughter to a trivia night with me and she helps me and stuff like that. And it's just a lot of fun. So that's where I'm at right now. It is my full-time gig. So the short answer / long answer is yes, it's all I do, but I do a lot of little things in addition to just like the podcast. You don't make a ton of money just doing a podcast, but I do a lot of stuff that kind of adds up as a whole. So stuff like Patreon is super, super helpful, and I really appreciate all the people that are donating on Patreon. It is really helping make my my home and work life a lot better. So thank you so much. And if you want to support the show in that way, go over to patreon.com/triviawithbuds. See all the rewards we have on there. I'll send you some cool stuff. And just like Sarah from Chicago, who just joined, you too can get a bunch of cool stuff and support a show that you hopefully dig. Today, for the first time ever on this show, I talked to a geneticist. My friend Patrick is a huge nerd. He's a lover of all things I love, including movie posters and Disney pin collecting and sweet nostalgia. And this is just a really cool chat with him. He educates me on a bunch of stuff, and I just let him talk the best I can. So we're going to jump into 15 fun questions with him on Die Hard, Disney, and genetics. Here we go. Sitting here in beautiful Laverne, California, in the comfort of my own home on a late Monday night. One of the latest recordings I've had with another nocturnal person in quite some time. On the other end of this Skype call is my good friend, one of the smartest guys I know, and you can tell just by looking at him. His name is Patrick Aghajanian. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, it's great, and you can actually see me. That's how you can tell how smart I am,
yeah.
through this audio recording.
Yeah, you told me your video is on in your Skype, and I'm like, I just need the audio, and you're like, I'm not wearing pants, and I'm not turning off the video.
That's right.
Very good. You are a geneticist. Is that the right title?
Yeah. I'm a genetic curation scientist.
Holy shit! 3 words that I could not even come closer to being further from. Does that make sense? Closer to being further from. I don't even know if that makes sense. Oh, my God. You are a trivia player at a venue I do on Tuesday nights called Lincoln Hops. You've been coming for the last, I'd say, 6 to 9 months. You and I kind of hit it off because you and I like a lot of the same kind of Instagram stuff. We follow a lot of the same movie artwork and Disney collectibles and enamel pins and things like that. So you're always showing me stuff. I'm always showing you stuff. And you love trivia and you love Disney. So I thought it'd be super fun to have you on today. And jokingly, we talked about, I said, why don't I have you on and I'll have you do topics. I'm like, we'll do something like Die Hard, Disney genetics. And you're like Die Hard, like the movie series? And I'm like, yes, that's not what I meant, but let's do it. So I have 5 questions for you on Die Hard, 5 questions on Disney, and 5 questions on genetics. But before we dive into that, let's dive into a little bit more about you. Tell me about being a geneticist.
Got my bachelor's and my PhD at UCLA, where I started in cancer, then moved to stem cell bio, did a postdoc at the VA where I studied bone development, and now I'm working at a genetics company called Fulgent Genetics. Basically, what we do is we get patient DNA, we sequence it, send it through bioinformatics filter, which then sorts it down for us. So we get the whole genome from the individual, depending on the kind of test they order. We then, my job is then to go and classify the different mutations that we've sorted out for them. So if you have, let's say, intellectual disability, we have 100 genes that we go through, and each gene could have X amount of mutations. And my job is to say, oh, this is pathogenic, this is benign, or we don't know how to classify this. And that's based on a bunch of different factors, such as epidemiological data or, just peer-reviewed journals, things like that.
Holy cow, man. That sounds like quite the intense job and quite the amount of schooling that had to probably go in to get that job. How many years in school for that?
I see. I did 4 years for undergrad and then 5.5 for grad school, so almost 10 years.
Man, yeah. that is quite the resume. Just in it sounds like just your daily operations.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, actually.
I can imagine if you like that kind of stuff and you're good at it, and you seem like the kind of guy that would be, from what I know of you, I can imagine how you could make that job fun.
Yeah, it was a field that I didn't know existed prior to me getting this job.
Sure.
It's a burgeoning field.
Yeah.
Genomics has sort of become the next level of healthcare.
Yeah.
And we're like riding right on the edge of that. So it's really cool place to be right now.
Well, they say the phrase doing God's work, and I feel like somehow with genetics you are involved in God's work. Do you ever feel like that?
Not necessarily, because we aren't manipulating anything
Sure.
per se.
Yeah.
That's sort of like a mix between developmental biology, which is what my background is in, and genetics.
Yeah.
So actually, my big background in genetics was during grad school. I worked in a fly lab, and I would manipulate the genes in these flies, and we would get flies, that glowed in the dark and things like that. And I was studying intestinal stem cell development.
Yeah.
So what I would do is create these flies. I would dissect them at various time points of development, and I'll remove their intestines, put them on slides, stain them with different antibodies that had fluorescent markers, and then put them under a microscope called a confocal microscope.
Uh-huh.
And that basically shoots lasers at the slide, and you can go slice by slice and create a 3D image of whatever tissue you're looking at. And that's basically what I did, what I used to track intestinal development during grad school. And that was, very genetics-based, but also very developmental-based.
I will say this, especially after hearing you go through both of those, your daily tasks and things you did and used to do, you're explaining it very easily to me, which is crazy. Usually when I talk to somebody who works in a field like this, I feel like I'm just immediately zoned out and going like, I don't know what you're talking about. But you know how to explain it kind of in like layman's terms. So I compliment you on that, my friend.
Well, I hope so. I've had a lot of practice.
I can't imagine. Like while you're talking about that, I was thinking, I'm like, I had a job one time at Blockbuster. I had to put videos back, and like that, like in terms of tasks and things you had to do, it's just complete opposite ends of the spectrum. But when we get off of our work sites, you and I guess could relate to a lot of the fun stuff that we collect and things. How many enamel pins would you say you have from the Disney universe?
Just from the Disney universe?
Yeah.
You know what? It's a lot less than you would think.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten that huge into pin collecting.
Sure.
I have, I don't know, maybe like 20, 30 pins.
Yeah.
But that's like maybe my maximum.
Sure.
I have actually way more posters than I have pins. I have, close to 200 posters. So
oh man. And are a lot of those rolled up, or a lot of them displayed?
Most of them are stored flat.
Okay.
You don't want to keep them rolled up.
Yeah.
For too long, because they can get permanent folds.
Okay.
So you wanna flatten them out as soon as you can.
Yeah.
So
do you have them?
I don't.
Do you have them in one of those like I don't know, like a stand-up kind of a poster holder, like you would buy a poster at a collectible store where you can kind of go through them like a giant file folder type thing?
Well, I do have a 24 by 36 portfolio and an 18 by 24 portfolio that I do store posters in, but most of them are stored between acid-free glassine paper.
Okay.
And just flat on top of each other on top of a table.
That's good. I never even thought about somebody who collects posters but doesn't put them all up on the wall. So you're teaching me about things like that. I feel like I should already know, as well as genetics. So good stuff.
Yeah, it's a disease. The collecting thing is a disease.
Very good, man.
Actually, if you could see the video right now, I have behind me a Rambo poster, a Ninja Turtles poster, a Game of Thrones poster. There's a Pacific Rim poster, which
I
wouldn't expect.
Did you see the new one? I hear it's not so good.
Yeah, I didn't hear good things, so I haven't seen it yet. I'll probably wait to watch that one on video when it comes out.
Are you a diehard guy for these 5 diehard questions I have for you?
I do like Die Hard, but
Yeah.
let's see if I can hit him out of the park or not.
Very good. And the last thing before we get into some trivia questions, you recently got engaged at a Disney concert hall. Tell me all about that. And congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So as you know, I'm very big into Disney, and my fiance Tara, we actually met online through our sort of shared interest in Disney. So
oh, that's cool. It was like a Disney dating site. Isn't there one of those?
I'm sure there is,
Yeah.
but no, it was just it was Match. We used Match.
Okay.
So that's how we met, and we've been going to Disney, forever since we've been together.
Yeah.
But she had told me that she does not want to get engaged at Disneyland. Like, she made it a point.
Yeah.
Like, we're there all the time, and I don't want to get engaged there. Like,
Okay.
all right, I'm not going to do it. And then I did the next best thing and got engaged at the Walt Disney Concert Hall.
Was she surprised by that, or did she see it coming?
I think she was surprised.
That's awesome.
Basically, she had scheduled, so we went and saw Dudamel at the Walt Disney Concert Hall, and she'd known that I'd want to go there for a while. So she had scheduled that day, and it was a week before our actual anniversary. So I was like, well, fuck it, let's just... well, am I allowed to curse on here? I don't know.
Yeah, swear it up. It's when you only get engaged once, hopefully.
Yeah. So I said, let's just do our engagement. I'm sorry, not our engagement. Let's do our anniversary that day.
Yeah.
So I made reservations for brunch at Baco in downtown, and dinner reservations at Redbird, and thought to myself, well, I'll just make this. I'll use this as my opportunity, because she's the one who sort of already planned for us to do this thing.
Sure.
She won't see it coming. So,
Yeah. That's perfect. You flip the plan around.
Yeah, exactly. So I had made her a little video of all the videos, like a bunch of videos that we had taken since we had been together. We'd gone glacier hiking in Alaska and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just like, a bunch of Disneyland videos and things of that nature. And I set it to some background music. And then I played a few songs for her, because she had rarely ever seen me play guitar. So I played some songs for her. And I proposed in the last one. So I played the Up theme, and then one of the La La Land songs. And then I played Lean on Me, which is our song. And I just ended it with that.
Ah, dude, this is great.
Yeah. So she was.
If she said no, I would probably marry you.
Yeah.
You play the song from
Thanks,
Up.
Ryan.
I'm like, I have to marry this person now.
It is called Married Life. So
and then you put a grape soda cap on me, and I just melt. That's it, man.
Yeah,
it's over.
Actually, in one of I proposed to her with one of the boxes had the ring in it. The other box had a pin. It had an enamel pin of the characters Carl and Ellie from Up, where they're getting married. So
wow, dude, that's great. It sounds like you hit it out of the park, especially for somebody who loves all the little details that go into something like that. So well done. Congrats.
Yeah. I also gave her a bouquet of churros, if that counts for anything.
That's like your last plan. You're like, if you don't like everything else, she's going to love the bouquet of churros.
Oh, she fucking loved those churros.
Awesome, dude. Well, that's great. That's a great story. I love hearing stuff like that. And I think it's time to dive into some trivia. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So we'll start with Die Hard, then we'll jump into Disney, and then some genetics. And you'll have to be patient with me with the genetics questions, because I pretty much Googled what are genetics, and we'll see how it goes.
What is genetics?
What's that genetics all about? All right, so here we go. I'll ask you 15 questions, and then we'll just see how many you get out of 15. It'll be like a for fun episode. Here we go. Question number 1, we're jumping into some Die Hard trivia. Here's number 1. Who plays Simon Gruber, the brother of Hans Gruber, in Die Hard with a Vengeance?
That's Jeremy Irons.
Ooh, right off the bat. Are you a big fan of him?
Oh, yeah.
He's a great actor.
Did you ever watch The Borgias?
I have not, but I've seen him, and he looks astounding in it.
Yeah, he plays Rodrigo Borgia, and then the show got canceled. So
that stinks.
It's pretty good. Yeah. And he does the voice of Scar in The Lion King.
That is a good little piece of trivia. I was going to say, Can you think of a Disney movie he's been in? He was the villain in Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, right? Wasn't that a movie with Marlon Wayans?
I never saw that.
I didn't either, but I remember him on the poster. And then he was in that movie Beautiful Creatures, which I only know because they were doing it on How Did This Get Made recently. And it made me want to watch it because they were like, he's doing this crazy Southern accent in it. And I guess everybody in the movie is like British doing a Southern accent, which is weird.
Yeah, and he plays the new Alfred in the Batman movies from the new stuff.
Yeah, and he's actually, I haven't seen Justice League yet.
Me neither.
Like 6 months later. But I did like him in the other one, Batman Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Question number 2. You're 1 for 15. Nice job. Which Die Hard sequel used the tagline, "Last time it blew you through the back wall of the theater, this time it'll blow you sky high"?
What?
So it was a tagline for one of the sequels, so you can eliminate the first one. Which Die Hard sequel used the tagline, "Last time it blew you through the back wall of the theater, this time it'll blow you sky high"?
What the fuck? When was he in the theater?
I think they're just saying like the one of the last movies you saw, it blew you to the back of the theater, like, whoa, look at this movie, and then like
I'm gonna guess Die Harder because that was at an airport.
That's right. That's a good way of thinking about it, and you are 100% correct. There's an airplane involved, and I think that's what they're going for there. So last time blew you back, this time you're going sky high, and in the third one you go diagonally. Here's number 3. What is the one-word name of the young limo driver in Die Hard 1?
Oh shit.
This is a tough one. Somebody asked me this one time, like on the street, like I was at a party or something, and they were like, "Oh, you're a trivia host? What's the name of the limo driver in Die Hard?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, that's a good question."
Oh, it's like Marion or something. Fuck.
Could be. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It is a print.
It's a print.
A print.
It's a print.
That might help you. Any guesses?
A print.
Maybe that threw you off.
Like LA Times print? Like
yeah, his name's LA Times. That's actually a good, like, that'd be like a good rapper name, like LA Times, but it ends with a Z. That's pretty good. It's Argyle, like Argyle sweater. So that is your first miss. You're 2 for 3, but yeah, Argyle, and that's one you'll like never forget once you hear it. You're like, that's definitely it.
No, I definitely remember him yelling it. Like, you know, when he was just in the limo and like, you know, he was doing whatever on the phone. Or,
he's having a great time. He's calling everybody, drinking champagne and stuff. Here's number 4. What year did A Good Day to Die Hard come out? What year did A Good Day to Die Hard come out?
I am going to say 2008.
It was 2013. That was the most recent movie, and it's not very good. I do not.
Wait. I was thinking Live Free or Die Hard. God damn it.
And that's 2007, but you're still very close. That was only 1 year off. Good Day to Die Hard's where he meets up with his son in like Russia.
That was terrible.
It's like unwatchable. I think I turned it off because I'm like, I don't even know what's happening in this movie.
Yeah. That film came out on Valentine's Day, and my buddy and I, this was back when Tara and I weren't together, but my buddy and I had a Valentine's date to go watch that. and it sucked.
Yeah. I saw a pretty good Bruce Willis movie, I think, on Valentine's Day, probably 2003 or 4, and it was that movie Hostage. Do you remember that one?
No. Not that one.
It's like some guy I think it's Kevin Pollak, has a really nice high-tech house, and somebody breaks in and takes some hostages, and he has to get them out. It's a pretty good movie, but I think I saw that on Valentine's Day as well. Here's number 5. What comedic actor and director plays a character named Warlock in Live Free or Die Hard?
Oh, that's Kevin Smith.
It is Kevin Smith. That's a fun little role for him, and he talks quite a bit about meeting and working with Bruce Willis in that movie and directing him in a couple of Dicks, which became Cop Out, and they I don't think they have a good relationship these days.
No.
Yeah, probably not. It sounds like Bruce Willis doesn't have a good relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
But you got 3 out of 5 right, so nice job. And we're going to jump into some Disney trivia. Now, this is your bread and butter. As you know, the listener now knows everything about you and your whole engagement story. So if you miss any of these, the engagement is technically off. It's technically off, yeah. Here we go. This is question number 1 for Disney. Who did the voice of Esmeralda in The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Was it Demi Moore?
It was Demi Moore. Nice guess. Demi Moore. I thought it was It was weird when I Googled it, like Salma Hayek came up for some reason, and I'm like, wait, is it her? And then I don't know why she came up. It was very bizarre. But I don't think she's even in the movie. I don't think she does a voice at all. But yeah, it's Demi Moore, and it's one of those kind of forgotten, uncredited-ish kind of roles, you know?
Oh, well, she was credited.
No, I mean, she was credited, but I feel like the world doesn't credit her for it. Like, you never hear anyone say, like, "Oh, you mean Demi Moore from The Hunchback of Notre Dame?"
That's true.
Yeah.
Most people think G.I. Jane, I think.
G.I. Jane's the one, for sure, yeah. Here's number 2. Which of these Disney princesses had the fewest lines in her movie? Here are the choices. Pocahontas, Belle, Aurora, or Snow White? Who has the fewest lines in her movie? Pocahontas, Belle, Aurora, or Snow White? What's your gut? What's your gut telling you?
My gut is Aurora.
Mm-hmm. Is that your answer?
That's my gut, but all right, let's see. Belle is definitely off the list. I'm going between Snow White. No, it's not Snow White. She had she sang Whistle While You Work. No. I'm going to go with Aurora.
Aurora is correct. Nice job, brother. You got it. Aurora. I think she doesn't have a lot of memorable quotes either. If you just think of quotes, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, she sings Once Upon a Dream.
Sure. I guess that's the one, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Good job. You got 2 for 2. Here's number 3. What color is Gus's hat in Cinderella?
Gus.
Gus.
It's blue.
Final answer.
You're talking about Gus, right?
Sure.
You're talking about the fat Gus.
Yep.
Now you're fucking with me. It's either blue or yellow. But I'm going to go blue.
Correct answer, green.
Oh, son of a fuck.
Unless I mistaken, but when I searched Gus Cinderella, the only mouse that came up was wearing a green hat. So I think the answer is green, as far as
I'm going to double check.
Why don't you double check? There you go. While you're double checking, here's number 4. Captain Hook's hook is on which hand? Left or right? Or does he have a third hand?
That looks fucking blue or green to me.
You think blue should count too? I could adjust the rules on my end, and I can accept a blue-green.
Yeah, it looks bluish green. I mean, some pictures it's green, some pictures it's blue.
Okay, I'm gonna have to accept blue-green. You got it. What hook is Captain Hook's hooky hand?
I have to think about this for a second. Let's see. I am gonna go with it's on his left hand.
It is his left hand. Nice job. You're going with your gut on all these, and you're getting all of them. 4 for 4. Let's see if you can get all 5 in a row. Here's number 5. What is Aladdin's second wish in Aladdin?
Oh, his second wish is to leave the water when he nods. When he's drowning?
Yes.
That's the second wish.
The answer I had was rescue from drowning or leave the water. That works too. To leave the water completely. That works out good.
To leave the water.
5 for 5 on Disney. Nice job, dude. You are, let's see, you've only missed 2, and those were Die Hard, which were kind of thrown at you last minute. So you are 8 for 10 right now. We're jumping into the last 5, and these are on genetics. So bear with me. Let's see how we do.
All right.
Number 1, based on the number of times our cells can divide, what is sort of the max number of years we can currently live? So based on the number of times our cells can divide, this article I was reading was saying we probably couldn't live past this year comfortably.
What a question.
Yeah.
No, maybe
it's very factual. I did a lot of tests for this.
Maybe 120 something.
It is exactly 120. So the fact that you said 120 something is going to be 100% correct. Nice job. It said basically, 120 is kind of the max amount we could live currently, and I thought that was interesting. Here's number 2. What continent?
With your telomeres, huh?
No, boy, that sounded like a word you know. Here's number 2. What continent did the banana first appear on before it was brought elsewhere and genetically changed over the years?
Huh.
What continent did the banana first appear on? So I guess bananas, I think from what I was reading, bananas didn't used to always be sweet. They used to not be a sweet fruit at all, and somehow they got sweeter over time because people changed them or planted them differently or something.
Time you say banana, I think, go banana.
All right. What continent you thinking?
I'm thinking South America, but I don't know. We'll see.
The answer is Asia. So bananas first appeared in Asia before they were brought to Africa, and that's when they went through some big changes, and they were made more sweet, I guess. So that's how it goes. Asia, no dice there, but you're still doing pretty great. We got just a few questions left. Number 3, what has more chromosomes, corn or rice? Are these on the test when you have to go to genetics school?
No.
It didn't say corn or rice?
Let me think about this.
I don't even know. I don't even know how you could possibly figure this out.
It also depends on the species of corn or rice, I would think. But
what if I said like good rice and okay corn?
Good rice.
Good rice and okay corn. Have you been on that dating website, Okay Corn? It is frightening.
Is it the farmers who only farm genetically engineered corn?
It's farmers who have been banned from OK Cupid. Okay Corn.
I'm gonna guess corn.
It is rice. You'll have to take that into work tomorrow, and then tell all the other geneticists you got stumped on the corn and rice quorum. Quorum?
They'll never forgive me.
They'll never forgive me. Number 4. How old is Gene at the start of Bob's Burgers? You see what I did there? How old is Gene at the start of Bob's Burgers?
Gonna say he's like 10.
He's 11. So you were just one off, but very close with the Gene Bob's Burgers question. 11 years old, from what I read. And the very last question I have for you on genetics: who plays Jerome Eugene Morrow in the film Gattaca? Did you know that one?
Is it what's his name? I know who it is. I'm just thinking of the name right now.
Jerome Eugene Morrow in Gattaca. It's pretty much, it could probably be 2 major actors based on if you know that movie. Like if you didn't know the exact character.
No, I know who it is.
Okay.
But I'm blanking on his name.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
You want me to
when
give it to
you
you?
say it, I'm gonna get very angry at myself.
It's Jude Law.
Oh, it's Jude Law?
Ethan Hawke plays the main character, and Jude Law is like another character.
Yeah, I was going to go Ethan Hawke. Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2, and Jude Law is in that one. So you got, let's see, you missed the genetics, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 out of 15. What's that percentage? That's pretty good, isn't it? 65? 70? 70 something?
Like that.
I think you did A-OK, my friend. And again, most of those genetics questions were from like Laffy Taffy rappers. So
yeah, I was like, oh, he's gonna ask me something about Gregor Mendel or like Punnett squares.
Sure.
No,
if I knew what those things were, I definitely would have asked you about them.
Gregor Mendel, he is the father of genetics.
There you go. I'm the father of 2 children so far.
You are the father of their genetics.
Yes. Oh, very good. Should I start telling them that? Hey, put that lamp down. I'm the father of your genetics.
Exactly.
That's my new taunt. Very good. Patrick, thank you so much. Do you want to plug anything before you go?
Yeah. So, actually, before I do that, I did write some questions for you.
You got questions for me?
Yeah, I got some questions for you.
Oh my God, are they about genetics? Am I screwed? Did I set myself up?
They're all about genetics.
Oh, it's just corn and rice pair comparisons? Oh, no.
Who is the father of genetics?
Corny McRicerson.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Corny McRicerson.
I already forgot that guy's name, the father.
It's Gregor Mendel. You know, he was a priest.
Really?
Yeah, and he created genetics based on pea plants.
PEA plants?
Yeah,
okay.
PEA plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they were growing in their gardens, and he noticed differences within different pea plants, and he was able to figure out how different alleles were transferred between genes. But the actual genetics, like DNA, wasn't really discovered until the 60s. So.
I have one final question for you. Was that the trivia that you prepared?
Yes, it was.
That was it? All right.
I answered all your questions.
All right.
No, actually, so I have some questions. I actually didn't number these. I literally wrote these questions on my ride home from Tara's house today. So
that sounds safe. Oh, you were probably in the back of a car. Were you in an Uber or something?
No, I was thinking of them in my head.
Oh, I see what
driving.
you're saying. Gotcha.
And,
You're like, I had an old-fashioned typewriter on the steering wheel.
Yep.
Very good.
I recited them to my phone, and it wrote them all down.
Oh, the power of Siri / Alexa / other robots that will eventually take over. Very good, man. All right, lay them on me. Let's see if I can get any of these and redeem some of my own trivia know-how.
Are going to be wrestling questions because I know you're a wrestling guy.
I am a wrestling guy.
And then the rest of them are going to be Disney questions that you're probably not going to be able to answer. So,
okay, very good.
So, okay, let's just get started.
Let's do it.
Question number 1, The Rock debuted in the WWE, or WWF at the time, under what name, and what was the first cinematic appearance by The Rock?
His debut name was Rocky Maivia, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and his cinematic appearance, the first movie he was in, let's see here, that's kind of tough. I can't remember if he was on SNL as a wrestler and then got a bunch of movies, or if he was on SNL to promote his first movie, because I know that the SNL appearance was a big part of like the launch of his stardom.
It was. Yeah. I remember that SNL episode.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It's a really good one. I'm trying to think of his first movie, and I guess my guess is going to be The Rundown with Christopher Walken and Stifler. Is that right?
That wasn't his first. That wasn't even his first starring role.
Oh, man.
His first starring role was in The Scorpion King.
That's right. Oh, man. I can't believe I forgot that. Okay. And actually, wasn't it The Mummy 2? Wasn't he like a quick at the very end of that?
That was his first. That was the first appearance. It was The Mummy 2.
Okay, so Mummy 2 is his first appearance in a movie, and then The Scorpion King was his first movie.
Yeah, he played the Scorpion King in The Mummy 2, but like a totally weird CG version of him.
Oh, yeah, real bad.
Have you seen that film?
Oh, yeah, I saw that in theaters for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Really bad CG. Really bad.
Very memorable. I can't believe I forgot that was his first big, because they did make a big deal of it on wrestling, too. It was like The Rock's movie debut, yeah. All right, good question, man. That was good.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 2.
Yes.
Name all 4 of Mick Foley's personas.
Ooh. I think I know the fourth one now that you've said her. Okay, let's just do them real quick. Cactus Jack.
Right.
Mankind. Dude Love. And is the fourth one Santa Claus?
He did play Santa Claus.
Because he does play Santa Claus on a lot of Raws and things, but I don't know. Does that count, or were you thinking just Mick Foley?
Yeah, it's probably just going to be Mick Foley.
Mick Foley,
yeah,
okay.
I will take Santa Claus.
Okay, very good.
Over Mick Foley.
Okay.
All right. In the early 2000s, a sex tape featuring what 2 WWE superstars surfaced?
Ooh, I don't think I know this, because back then, sex tapes really had to be like somehow uploaded. I don't know. Were they even on the internet yet? Like sex tapes in 2000?
Yes.
Okay.
Not right on 2000, but like the early 2000s.
But mostly they were actual tapes, probably still floating around. Like copies or discs.
These were. I mean, they probably videotaped it with a tape.
Sure.
But
yeah.
These were
two wrestlers online. In a sex tape in 2000. I guess I'm going to go. I thought this was a lot later, but my only prominent guess would be X-Pac in China.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was like 05 for some reason. I thought it was a lot later.
I said early 2000s.
Oh, I thought you said in 2000, or maybe I just assumed you meant in 2000, and I'm like, I thought she was still a Triple H in 2000.
It wasn't 2000.
Gotcha.
Early 2000s. Yeah.
Early 2000s. Yes, I have. I've never seen it, nor wanted to look it up, but I've heard him talk about it on a lot of podcasts. He brings it up almost like a credit, like, yeah, back when me and China had our sex tape. Like it's very interesting. Nice job. Good question.
I did not know that he went on a lot of podcasts.
I listen to a lot of wrestling podcasts, so that's probably what it was. Yeah.
Do you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast?
I've listened to probably 10 episodes total. I don't listen to it regularly or anything.
Yeah. He's a pretty interesting guy.
He is good. Yeah, I listen to him a lot when somebody I really like is on the show,
Yeah.
And then every time I listen to it, I go, oh, I should listen to him regularly, and then I don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way that goes.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. So it seems like you got at least 2 of them right, and
nice.
part of the first one right.
Love it. This is great. Nobody ever asked me questions. This is such a nice turn of the tables.
Nobody asks you questions, or nobody asks you wrestling questions.
Nobody really talks to me for the most part.
Yeah, that's a good point. I try to avoid you when I can. All right, next question. George Clooney had a long-term relationship with what WWE diva?
Oh man, I know this. She was known for her legs. I don't know.
Yeah, she was.
What the hell was her name? Oh my God, I've seen her in so many compilations from wrestling. It was a time I didn't watch. Like it was right, 2002 to 2005. I didn't really watch at all, and I can't.
Yeah, she was pretty prominent towards the end of that. Yeah.
What the hell is her name? I don't think it's. What the hell? She's Stacy Keibler. That's it.
Yes.
I was gonna say Kelly, and that was years later. There was a diva named Kelly, but yeah, Stacy Keibler. I knew once I got Keibler in my head, like the elves, I knew I had it. But yeah, they were they dated for a little bit.
Yeah, I was like when I heard that he was dating Stacy Keibler, I'm like, there's no way that could be anybody else because she has such a unique name.
Yeah, definitely.
And I found it odd that he was dating George Clooney of all people was dating somebody from wrestling.
It was crazy.
Wrestling world,
Very bizarre. Yeah. That's a good question.
She doesn't really look like a wrestler at all.
No, she was more of a valet. I don't even know if she actually wrestled too much, but she probably did. You know what they did a lot back then? Bra and panty matches.
They did.
A lot. Oh, yeah.
They had a whole, Divas swimsuit, episode, I think.
Yeah. They did, some sort of battle royal where they all had clothes, and then they, had to rip off the clothes to be eliminated.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Because that's how you fight when you're a woman, apparently.
Of course.
And speaking of women in the WWE, I mean, do you know that Linda McMahon was a congressperson?
I do. Isn't she currently in Trump's cabinet in some way?
I feel like she is, which is very odd to me.
It is. I mean, they're all billionaires, but it is still kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean, because she would appear on Raw and SmackDown and all that stuff, and I never saw a career in politics coming.
Yeah, she ran for Congress a few times and lost, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, the whole history of that family is very, very interesting.
It is. There's going to be quite a documentary made when they're all gone, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
Shane
gonna be
McMahon
crazy.
collects, shoes, like sneakers and shit.
Yeah. And he went to run a company in Asia for years and then suddenly came back in wrestling 2-3 years ago and is like, it's like he never left. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. All right. So the next question is my last wrestling question.
Okay.
And we're going back to The Rock because why not?
Sure. Let's do it.
So The Rock made a cameo as the Pandari champion on what sci-fi TV show?
Oh, I know he made a cameo as his father on that 70s show, so that's where I thought you were going.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Rocky
that.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, he was on what Sci-Fi Channel show? Is that the
not
question?
Sci-Fi Channel show.
Oh, just sci-fi show?
Sci-fi TV show. The genre sci-fi.
Gotcha. And he made and he was a champion on it?
He was just credited as the Pandari champion.
Pandari. I don't know what that is. That a race of people? Pandari, like on some specific show?
Yeah.
Ugh, I do not know. I would guess it was one episode.
One episode stint.
Can you tell me if it was recently or a long time ago?
It was defined a long time ago.
Was it more than 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
My first guess would have been something like the Orville, which I don't watch, but I'm like, oh, maybe he was on that. But I'm like, I feel like I definitely would have. He's bigger than probably doing the Orville now. So I would say Futurama.
No, but
Okay.
that was a good guess.
Okay.
That was a good guess. He was on Star Trek Voyager.
Interesting. Like when? Late 90s?
I would say early 2000s.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I never saw that, never heard of it. I'll have to look that up on YouTube.
Yeah, have you watched Voyager?
I've never seen any Star Trek TV show ever.
What the fuck is wrong? Okay, you need to sit yourself down.
Yeah.
And watch you some Star Trek.
I'll have to do that.
Starts off campy, but it's worth the trip.
I love it. Sounds great.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from wrestling, we're going to go to Disney, and I will try and maybe ask you the easier ones first.
Okay. Those were excellent wrestling questions. Good mix.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. I wish I had thrown something like Stone Cold in there.
Sure.
And I was thinking about like throwing in the Owen Hart thing, but then it's like, oh, that's in bad taste, so I didn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Let's start with this one. What's the name of the riverboat at Disneyland?
The riverboat? Is it Mark Twain's steamship?
Oh, it's the Mark Twain riverboat.
The Mark Twain riverboat. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, you got that one.
Nice. I feel good about it. That's one that I wouldn't think I'd know, but with the season pass, you happen to see the name of it a lot of times.
Did you guys get a season pass?
Oh yeah, we had the kids. I have a 3-year-old, and I think we got a season pass when she was 2 because we're like, okay, we have a whole year where she can go for free. Yeah. And then when she turned 3, she's like a really tall 3-year-old, so they started asking right away, and we just got her own. So she loves it. She loves handing the card over and all that stuff. And this is all paid for by Grandma, so it works out pretty good. But yeah, they go quite a bit. They go probably once a week or every 10 days or so, and then I go like once a month.
What level pass do you guys have?
I can drive the trolley cars, and it's a very specific pass that only so many people get. No, it's I don't know. Let's see. Mine's, I want to say, I can't go on Saturdays. Is that a thing? That's the one I have. Ashley, my wife, has one that includes parking, and I think is one above that.
Oh, so you have the deluxe. She has the signature.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think we all have the deluxe, me, Annabelle, and my mother-in-law, and then my wife has the one with the parking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. We'll have to go sometime. Do a little scavenger hunt or something.
I do go to the Disneys.
Yes. Yeah, you go quite a bit. You post a lot of pictures.
I do. All right. Let's try this one.
Okay.
Which princess castle is located at Disneyland, and which one is located at Disney World?
I just heard about this from my old wife. My new wife as well. My current wife told me this. She said, and I argued with her about it. I go, no, that's Cinderella's castle. She goes, no, this one's Sleeping Beauty's, and the one in Disney World is Cinderella's. And I'm like, they're the same castle. You don't know what you're talking about. But I'm going to go with her gut, and I think that it's Sleeping Beauty's castle at Disneyland and Cinderella's at Disney World. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Nice. Thanks, Ash.
And actually, have you gone through the castle here?
No. I mean, just when you walk on the main level. I've never gone. You can go up into it somehow, right?
Yeah. They just off on the side. You can walk up into it, and it takes you through the little Sleeping Beauty story. It's kind of cute.
Oh, you can wait. Can anybody do it anytime or only certain?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I've definitely never done that. I wonder if she even knows about that. We'll have to try it.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely walk through there.
Sure. I'm going to drive my trolley right through the whole thing. It's going to be great.
All right. So, next question.
Mm-hmm.
During Halloween time at Disneyland, Space Mountain gets a projection overlay, and what is that called?
Oh, I definitely know this one. A projection overlay in Space Mountain around Halloween.
Yeah.
I have no idea, so I'm going to guess the Michael Myers Experience.
Yes, that is correct. No. Can you imagine?
Oh, it'd be so great. I would love it.
It is called Ghost Galaxy.
Ghost Galaxy, and it just adds some ghosts and things to the whole thing.
It's literally a ghost galaxy. It's a galaxy that is a ghost, and the galaxy follows you around during the ride.
Creepy.
So they have different areas where they project the galaxy at. But they do have, when they do the Star Wars overlay, it's called Hyperspace Mountain.
Sure.
And you got to get your ass on that.
Oh, I've been on that for sure. I have not.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, that is really fun. I have not done the Halloween one though, but now that I know, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. All right. Let's try this one.
Okay.
Location of all the Disney parks.
What does that mean? Location of all the
Like
Disney
as
parks?
in country. Well, I guess not just country. I guess city-ish.
Okay. All right.
Or
So
around the city.
So
I'll give you a range
Okay.
of city.
All right. Anaheim,
Yeah.
Orlando,
Yep.
Tokyo,
Yep.
Paris,
That's 4.
and Antarctica. No, let's see. And
Got 2 more.
2 more. Is there?
Yeah.
What did I said? Tokyo. So is there a? That's is. Is the cruise ship count?
No, it does not.
That's not. Okay.
These are parks with castles in them.
Parks with castles, Tokyo.
So you got Tokyo, you got Paris, you got
Paris.
Disney World, you got Disneyland. There's 2 more.
2 more parks. Is it? Is there another one in China?
There's one in China.
Okay, I don't know the city. Is it?
It's actually the newest one. It's called Shanghai.
Shanghai. That's it. I
Shanghai
definitely have
Disneyland.
Shanghai Disney. I've heard of that for sure. I have no idea what the last one is.
Yeah, opened in 2016. The other one, I believe, opened in 2012. It's Hong Kong.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
See, now that you've said them, I definitely have heard all of them in passing. And I watched some kind of documentary, which was not very well done, on Hulu, like inside the Disney parks, and they give you like a little tidbit of each thing. So I should know. I should have known that, but I did not. Nice questions. These are good. You got one more?
Yeah.
All right.
I got a few more. I don't know
Okay.
if you're willing.
Yeah, let's do them. Bring them on.
Okay, this one might be a little bit harder for you.
Okay.
But let's see if you can tackle this one. It shouldn't be too bad, but
Sure.
let's see. What does Epcot stand for?
Golf ball.
Yes.
That's my guess. Does it stand for golf ball in some way?
No.
Okay. I have no idea.
Do you know what the golf ball is called?
I also do not know. I thought that was called an Epcot. I thought it was a Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel situation from Ace Ventura. Yeah.
Funny enough, they were showing Ace Ventura on TV today.
He talks with his butt in that movie.
He does.
What does Epcot stand for?
Epcot stands for the Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. And the reason it stands for that is because it was initially supposed to be an actual city. A city that Walt had planned to have a bunch of different companies, within close proximity, build this sort of utopia of industrialized America, basically. And that's what it was supposed to be. But he died way before it opened. He died even before they opened Walt Disney World in 77.
That's wild.
71 was Disney World. But yeah, he died before they opened Disney World, and they opened Epcot in the 80s, actually. They opened it as a theme park.
Yeah.
And it went way over budget. I think by the end of it, Epcot ended up costing like $1.2 billion or something to make.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
You should start your own trivia podcast. This is the most interesting interested I've been in a guest just talking. I'm like, oh my God, he knows genetics. He knows Disney. You have so many facts in your head.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I have one more tidbit for you. Did you know that Stacy Keibler was edited out of Tomorrowland, the movie?
Was she really?
No, she was not. She appeared on set and was immediately removed 10 years after the breakup. That's what I heard.
Yeah. The golf ball is called Spaceship Earth.
Okay,
So-
Spaceship Earth. There you go. I know I've been in it for the little ride.
Well, there you be.
There I be.
Well, okay. Is it okay if I ask 2 more?
Two more. Let's do it. Yeah, close it out.
All right. So the next question I'm going to ask is, who created Mickey Mouse?
Well, I bet it wasn't old Walt Disney because that seems too easy. So I'm going to say it was his brother Roy.
Ha! No, actually, Roy handled the business end. So it was not Roy, but it was his good old buddy Ub Iwerks.
Oh.
Ub Iwerks created Mickey Walt did the initial voice of Mickey before it switched hands.
Isn't it interesting that they don't do, like, how has there never been a Mickey Mouse theatrical movie, like just like the Mickey Mouse movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're finally opening a Mickey Mouse ride.
Oh, yeah. That's like, another thing.
There was no Mickey Mouse ride prior to this ride, which is, like, amazing.
It's just weird. It's interesting to think it's, like, such an icon. But it's same thing with, like, Mario. Like, I feel like there's no Mario, although they're adding Mario to some theme parks, aren't they? Or they did?
Universal is making a Nintendo Land in Florida. So, yeah.
Are they doing a Mario movie? Like, I feel like there should be a Mario. I feel like there's just a world out there of people that would go see an animated Mario movie.
There is a Mario movie.
There is.
With John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins.
Oh, how could I forget? The elevator Goomba scene where they dance and rock. What a great film.
Yeah, and Dennis Hopper played Koopa.
It's one of the
best.
Back
when we still called him Koopa here. Everybody calls him Bowser now.
So good.
But yeah, okay. So, next question before I get kicked off of this podcast. So this one's going to be a little bit harder.
Okay.
A lot bit harder.
Okay. Let's do it.
So Disney began a cartoon short with what surrealist painter that was never finished in either of their lifetimes and was later completed with the original animator John Hench and inserted into the special features for the film Fantasia 2000?
Surrealist painter?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what surrealist means.
If you think about it, like, this will just pop right into your head.
Surrealist painter. Fantasia.
This painter will pop right into your head, basically. If you figure out what surrealist
I'm going to go with pop art, and I'm going to go with Andy Warhol.
No.
Okay.
So, surrealist painter Salvador Dali.
Okay. I feel like I've heard this before.
Who did the clocks and stuff.
Yeah.
They made an animated short called Destino.
Yeah.
You can actually look it up on YouTube. Just watch the whole thing. It's like 7 minutes long. It's pretty beautiful, but it's also really trippy.
Yeah.
As many of his paintings are. But it's based off of all the concepts that he started with John Hench, and then way later on in John Hench's life, they just came across these drawings in their archives, and then decided, like, oh, hey, we should finish this. So they did.
That's so cool.
And they inserted it into Fantasia 2000, not in the actual film, but in the special features. And they used the original recording from the artist in 1940s. Was it Dora Luz? The Mexican singer Dora Luz sang the song Destino.
Yeah.
And they used the original recording, so it sounds really like poppy, like it's playing off a vinyl.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
Cool.
I have to watch it. I have that Blu-ray where it was Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, and
yes,
I'll have to go check that out with my kiddo next time we're watching a movie. Patrick, you know a lot of stuff, and I'm really glad I decided to have you on the podcast. And I'm really glad that you were like, hey, when are we going to do that podcast? Because you were excited about it, and I'm excited that you've been on it. And thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah, no problem. This has been fun for me, too.
Very cool, man. Where can people follow you online if they want to see some of the nerdy, geeky, awesome stuff you're posting that I always love?
I have an Instagram. It's JEDIRABIZ, or Jedi Robbies.
Yeah.
So if you go to that, I also have a YouTube page of the same name where I made some recordings years ago of me singing Disney songs. So there's that. But yeah, so that's where you can find me, I suppose.
Fantastic. Patrick Aghajanian, thank you so much, dude. He's a genetic curation scientist and a diehard Disney fan and somewhat of a diehard fan. Thanks for being on the show, dude, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Yes, thanks for having me.
There he is. What a great chat with Patrick. Patrick Aghajanian, master nerd, a doctor of geekery and genetics. You can see him. He's usually at Lincoln Hops in Sunland, California, every Tuesday, 8 to 10. If you want to chat with him more and you're local in Southern California, you can play some trivia, maybe jump on his team. He usually wins. And you can, support all the fun stuff he's doing over on social media if you just follow him. Jedi Rabbis. Very good stuff. If you have ideas for quick little 5-question quizzes for me, send them my way. Patrick had a bunch of great questions for me. If you have a topic that you like and you think it would be fun for me to answer, you can record audio of you asking the questions and then later record the answers and send those to me. Or you can just send me the text, like as a text or as an email, ryanbudds@gmail.com, or on social media in any way. And just put 5 questions in the topic, and I will try and answer those, and I'll look up the answers. You don't even have to include the answers, unless they're really tough and they're hard to find without Googling or with Googling. So I already got some really good ones on Scrubs from listener and friend Jordan Zeilinger, on state capitals from Patreon subscriber and new pal Casey Becker, and 5 questions on WrestleMania from Jim Fields, the Askin Nebraskan, running his own trivia nights in the middle of the country. Special thanks to all the supporters of this show, including Brenda Martinez, Sarah McKevitz, Casey Becker, Alexis Eck, Fiona Neville, Manny McNelly, Jess Whitener, Earl Clark, Kyle Bonin, Natalie Santiago, and Alex Desolation. Rate, review, and subscribe if you like this show, and tell a friend about it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you this Thursday for the mini episode. Cheers.